We're now going to change up the pace again, and I'm going to hand over to Sam Crowther, who's the executive CD at A Million Ads. He's going to be talking about how personalisation amplifies noise cancellation. So from silence to noise cancellation feels like a good theme. So Sam, over to you.
Cool, morning. Yeah, my 5 minutes is split into two parts. The first part is about sound and why sound's so powerful, and silence as well, and the psychology of attention. And the second part is a little case study about Bose that we've done with Xaxis and Mediacom. And the most sort of relaxing sound for all human beings has been birdsong, because birds don't sing when a predator's close. They go into an alarm call state, which is repeating the same sound, which is why modern day smoke alarms repeat the same sound. But noise pollution in modern day life means that silence has now become so precious. And voices are so precious as well, because they communicate emotion.
Hello? Hello, Mummy. Hello?
The sound of a smile, the sound a daughter will make when she hears her mother's voice on the end of the phone. But the more emotional we become, the more we vary volume, intonation, and rhythm. We end up singing. I Have a Dream is a musical hook. For me, it started with Freddie Mercury at Live Aid in 1985. I was 11 years old. And hearing the whole of Wembley Stadium singing back to Freddie is very powerful. That same year, 85, I went to Anfield. I'm a big Liverpool fan. You hear You'll Never Walk Alone. It increases dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin, and all endorphins. But it can also suppress pain. Now, when I realized I was going to be presenting on the 11th hour of the 11th month, and after the 2-minute silence we've just had, I couldn't help but think of that final scene in Blackadder. Blackadder goes forth. And this theme tune, so iconic for the series before it, slowed down, made very poignant. And that is the beauty of music, because it has that resonance. It's able to reflect our emotions. And that's why music is such a beautiful way of engaging with people. And it fits in with that deep psychology of attention, because there are three main drivers to attention. And the first is contextual relevance, what the weather's doing, where we are, what we're doing this day.
On Absolute Radio with Dave Grohl. In London, queuing traffic on A4 eastbound.
So if you were listening to the radio and it said, oh, there were problems on the A4 eastbound, I'm going on the A4 eastbound, you'd listen up. So contextual relevance. The second is personal relevance. And this is Cherry and Broadbent talked about the cocktail party effect. So if someone mentions your name, you automatically get drawn to it. This proves that we have selective attention. And the third thing is when things are unexpected, like a loud bang on the street, is that a gunshot? Or even visually when things happen, like myself coming in the background, just a bit of fun. This is the US version of me. He's based in our New York office. And I want to talk through this Bose campaign that we are running at the moment. Now, this you're about to hear is the US version, so it's in English so you can understand it. And my US version of me from the US office is going to explain the data points driving what you're hearing as it plays out.
We love you, New York City, even in this rain. Bin trucks on morning rounds, market stalls and commuter trains. But sometimes we just need some quiet, so you can feel every note, beat, and drop.
Feel closer to the music with Bose Quiet Comfort earbuds, the world's most effective noise-canceling earbuds, using acclaimed Bose audio technology. Feel it all.
And this is how we did it. We have software that we've built ourselves. This is Studio, and everything's based on a script. Now, you'll see it's German in the left because this is actually live in Germany at the moment. So this second line that you're seeing here is a line that's driven by weather. So you can see that snow's been applied to that particular line. There's a particular WAV that goes with that. And then there's a range view. So all of the audio, we can move at how it relates to one another. Here are the 91 locations.
Berlin. Wir lieben dich, München.
We love you, Berlin. We love you, Munich, and the 90 other ones we have. And then there's the soundscapes, the sound effects, the noise that people want to cut out. So there's bin trucks that go with time of day of the morning. But then we had 11 of these different soundscapes that relate to different times of day. So sirens through the night can be really annoying, the sort of thing you'd want to cut out as well. But the main driver for this particular campaign has been the music and having dynamic music beds that play depending on the genre that you're listening to. So if you're listening to indie rock, sure, the music you'd want to hear in the ad is indie rock. It reflects who you are and what you're into. Like I said, that sort of resonance. And there were 5 different genres of music that we also rotate, so you get a variance as well. So if you're into hip hop, this is what you'd hear. Now, this particular script creates over 101,000 possible combinations. Like I said, live in Germany at the moment. And it's a template that's universal. Can go across podcast, video, audio, so you can feel every note, beat, and drop. That should be dead on 5 minutes. So hopefully we've got a couple of minutes of questions and answers, hopefully.
Great work, Sam. Masterful storytelling and use of audio, so thank you. Someone commented that you also have the best backgrounds that anyone's seen at a virtual conference, so congratulations for that. So I remember back in the day, I used to work on the Intel account. I remember that dung, dung, dung was one of those famous audio kind of signals. How are brands thinking enough, do you think, about how they use audio along with all of the other senses to drive recognition and behavior?
Yes, it's really come into its own in the last few years because I think the growth of smart speakers has been extraordinary. So suddenly brands are beginning to think, and particularly with lockdown as well, you know, a lot of IP listening to podcasts, to radio streaming, to music playlists, all sorts of stuff. And going through connected devices means that we can run these sorts of campaigns. And it really has increased this love for audio.
Yeah, great. And does smart, like the behavior that's changing in terms of smart speakers, how do you integrate, I guess, that emotive moment, some of what you shared, with the call to action that might be, I want to buy a product, because Amazon Alexa is ultimately about commerce. So how do you integrate those two things?
Yeah, I mean, there's trials going on for, I mean, we talk about click-through rates, but there's also the potential for talk-to rates, you know, so that if you are hearing a dynamic ad potentially on a smart speaker, there is the opportunity to potentially talk and say, tell me more about this. You know, add it to my shopping list, or maybe I just want some more information put up on my screen now. I mean, I better be careful because I'll say Alexa and she'll perk up. But,
Start talking.
Here in my office. But it's amazing how I get notifications telling me when I've got a delivery, and I've got a Ring doorbell as well. So as soon as the delivery arrives, then I get a notification in the office, you know, almost instantaneously. It's incredible technology.
And what brands or sectors would you call out as really kind of breaking new ground in this? I saw recently at an ISBAR presentation, MasterCard talked about their investment into audio in many different ways. So who's doing this well, Sam?
Well, there's all sorts of different brands. I mean, we've run campaigns for HSBC, who had their Sonic branding, their Sonic logo, and actually we had different lengths of copy, and I was able to put the different lengths of their Sonic logo to kind of fill the gaps. So it's almost like a dynamic Sonic brand, if you know what I mean. That we had some 2 second Sonic logos, and then up to 3 or 4 second Sonic logos at the end when I had shorter bits of clips of voice.
Right.
So there are all sorts of brands doing some really fascinating stuff. We've worked with Deliveroo a lot, very data-rich business, and Bose, of course, who I just took you through there, are doing some great stuff.
Great. Well, it sounds like it's relevant to all brands. All brands should start thinking about it. And unfortunately, we need to move on. But the thing that you've left me with is how much I miss dancing to the drop. So I'm now dreaming of being back in a club at some point in the near future.
Great.
Thank you, Sam. Appreciate your time.